Hello, I am Mel with Soulful, and welcome to today's Gentle Flow, where we are focusing on relieving the discomfort of that sciatica and low back pain, which can certainly be a side effect of pregnancy. I'm currently 26 weeks pregnant, and if you are expecting as well, I would love to hear in the comments below about your journey and anything that I can do to help support you. If you're new here, welcome. I'm so happy to have you. And if you are already a subscriber, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your feedback from the previous low back video that I did just a week or so ago. I really appreciate it. You all seem to love it. And if you missed it, I'll make sure to link that in the comments below for you. So for today, you're probably going to want a few props close by, certainly depending on your discomfort level at this moment while you're doing this. I'm going to have 2 yoga blocks here for me to use and incorporate a little bit. And then you may want to have a bolster or some pillows, something like that that's a little cushiony to sit on. And depending on your knees, we will do a little bit with tabletops and things. If you do have any knee issues, you may want to have a towel, yoga blanket, another yoga mat, something like that to place under the knees to support you. So with that, my friend, let's go ahead and begin today's practice. If you're not already in a seated position, I welcome you to go ahead and meet me there whenever you're ready. Take your time and just make sure you find those sit bones, those ischial tuberosities. You may want to gently rock back and forth, and who knows, that may already feel good for you. And if that is already uncomfortable and a little pinchy, you can go ahead and place that bolster or pillow underneath your seat to elevate you, and that should help bring you some relief. All right, so find yourself in that seated position. Take a cleansing breath. Let's close the eyes together. And if there is an intention that you would like to set for this practice, go ahead and do so now, and maybe the intention is just to be present in your body today. Whatever it is that's speaking to you, go ahead and bring that in. And as you do, just start to focus on the breath, bringing yourself into the body and into this present moment. It's so easy for us to stay distracted, and remembering our bodies are communicating with us for a reason. So take this time to give it the love that it needs. Just breathe. Maybe you even choose to connect with that strong, victorious, audible Ujjayi breath, where you inhale and exhale through the nose, creating space in the back of the throat. One more breath. And let's gently open the eyes and find ourselves in a tabletop position. Again, being mindful of those knees. If that's where you need support today, you can go ahead and roll that up and place it under the knees. Once you're in that tabletop position, find yourself yielding into the earth. Sometimes we call this puppies or kitties making biscuits, and just kind of find your placement here. And you want to have that strong yogi grip into the mat where you're pressing down into the earth, having that Nike check mark with the pointer finger and the thumb, the wrist underneath the shoulders, the knees underneath the hip line. Let's begin with those cat-cows. So we're dropping that belly down to the earth, and that gaze, that sternum starts to go up towards the sky. Exhale, press the earth away, protracting through those shoulders, taking your time here. Sometimes I really enjoy just closing the eyes and allowing my breath to guide me, and I encourage you to do the same. This is not a full restorative practice today, but we are taking our sweet time. Now, if you are having some discomfort already here today, really be mindful of that cow when you're having that additional extension here in the spine, because as you're pregnant, your belly growing, you're going to create more of that lordosis curve in that back. So sometimes that can exacerbate some low back pain. So just be mindful. Let's do one more round wherever that is for you, pulling that belly to spine as you go into that cat. Continuing to have the breath guide you along the way, shoulders away from the ears, and whenever you are there, no rush, find yourself in that tabletop position. Now let's go ahead with those dancing lions. So make sure those knees are wide enough for baby and belly. And we're going to take the hips over to the right, swing it to that right heel, then swing it over to the left and come back forward, making big hip circles here. And then once you find that placement, maybe you go ahead and take it in the opposite direction. There's absolutely no rush, no right or wrong here, just really focusing on, ooh, that feels so good for me personally, loosening up that back. Maybe you kind of draw like a little rainbow here, side to side, just letting it all go. Again, do whatever your body needs intuitively here, because you're connected with your body. You set that intention, you're giving yourself this beautiful gift, and whenever you're ready, back to that tabletop position. And we're going to take a moment, think about just kind of shaking your tail a little bit. We're going to swing the hips side to side, keeping the upper body completely still. Moving the spine, again, pressing the earth away. Notice I'm not dumping and collapsing. My chest down, I'm staying nice and long in that spine. Ooh, another good pop. And let's actually do some little hip circles here, little pelvic hip circles. Oh, so good. And go in the opposite direction. Go at your pace here, whatever that is for you. That drishti, that gaze is looking down to the mat, keeping that cervical spine, that neck neutral. When you're ready, extend that right leg back, toes down to the earth, and enjoy that calf stretch. Now, take your option here. If you want to kind of bounce a little bit, but be mindful here to just kind of stretch that calf a little more. Who knew that right calf was so tight today? That's why we take this time to check in with the body. What a beautiful gift. What a beautiful gift this body is, to be creating this life, this miracle within you. It is a full-time 24/7 job. Don't take it lightly. Oh, good work and great job. Keeping that right leg back, lift it up and cross it over the left. We're going to go into that sunbird stretch here. Now, this already may be speaking to you, so you can stay here, or you can join me by walking that right hand over to the side of the mat, and that gaze kind of goes over towards that left shoulder here. Still keeping the hip bones pointed down to the earth. Breathe deeply, continue to supply oxygen to those muscles, and really focus on releasing here. Maybe you even visualize the release happening. We're not trying to create tension, we're looking to release it here. One more breath. And if that arm is extended, as I am, go ahead and bring it back center. Square the body back up, lift that leg, and bring it back down into that tabletop position. When you're ready, bring that right knee up and that right foot to the outside of that pinky finger. Blocks can help you here if you want to bring those close by. We're going into that low lunge, so you can use the blocks to walk yourself up. Find your placement, make your adjustments, keeping room for baby here, and just bring the hips ever so gently forward. Now, if you don't need the blocks, you can come up, hands on the thigh. Now, as we are pregnant, our body is already producing more of the hormone relaxin, so we already have more flexibility than normal. So really focus here, not over pressing and extending your hips, and certainly not overextending that low back here. So really be mindful. We don't want to create any issues in the body. We just want to support ourselves during this wonderful time. Using the breath, still keeping that nice long spine, always being tall. Checking in, how are you doing? Good job. On your exhale, let's lengthen that right leg. If you have the blocks, you can walk it kind of to the side here. And then the heel stays down, toes go towards the sky. And now we're having that nice hamstring stretch here. Think about really pulling the femur bone into the hip socket, keeping the hips squared forward. There you go. Sometimes I like to point the toe, flex the toe here. And that's speaking to me today. So again, honoring what you need, maybe a gentle ankle roll. In a good way. Letting everything go. Incredible work here. And let's take that foot flat to the earth, walk it in, place the blocks wherever they may for you, and the hands come down to the earth. Let's bring it back to that tabletop position. And then tuck the toes underneath, and let's take those hips up and back, pressing into that down dog. Maybe you choose to pedal the knees here. Walk it out, pedal it out, keeping that strong yogi grip into the mat. Feel that scapula lifting up and back, and maybe you find a neutral placement. Maybe the heels touch the earth. Maybe they never do, that's okay. And depending on where you are in your pregnancy, you may want to have those feet mat distance apart to just continue to create room for baby. Each exhale, go deeper. If that's what's serving you, you can also have the option to have those hands on the blocks if that's what you need. Maybe your knees need to be bent here, that's okay. The gaze is looking back into the horizon. And let's bring the knees back down. Meet me in that tabletop position. Let's give that left side the loving it deserves. So when you're in that tabletop position, go ahead and extend that left leg back. Give yourself that nice calf stretch. Again, maybe you choose to kind of do that little bounce, stretching it out, keeping that right knee directly underneath that hip line. It's not splayed out to the side. And you want to have, again, those hip bones facing down to the earth. And maybe you find that stillness and that stretch if that's what feels right for you. Again, pressing the earth away. We're not dumping into the shoulders. And let's come back into neutral. Lift that left leg, cross it over the right for that sunbird side stretch. Now again, option to stay here. I have checked in with my body. The left side is a little pinchier for me, but I still feel like I need more. So you can join me in taking that left hand over, crossing the body. Now, since this side for me is a little more sensitive, I'm not going as deep as I did on the right. It doesn't feel right for me. So again, it's always wonderful to be present in your practice. to continue to check in with what you need. Every day is different. Every practice will be different. Even if you've done this video 100 times, which I hope you do, it'll always be different. Thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing to press play. I know there's other options out there, but I really love that you chose to be here with me, so thank you for that. One more breath. And let's walk that hand back in. If it was extended, lift that leg up, come back center, and bring it into tabletop. Get your balance, get your placement. When you're ready, take that left knee to left elbow, walk the foot, use your hand if you need help, and come into that lunge position. Again, option to have your blocks on the setting, maybe the high setting if that's what you need. And just really feel that good hip flexor stretch here. This is one of my favorite stretches for low back issues. And it's not something people commonly think of because they're like, well, that's the front. I'm feeling discomfort on the back. And what happens is we have that psoas muscle, which is also known as the muscle of the soul. And it's a huge muscle that connects to the spine. So when all of this is really tight, it can actually create a lot of low back issues. So again, keeping those hips squared forward. Shoulders relax, breathe, maybe you close your eyes. Again, you're not trying to create tension. You don't want to overstretch here. Please, please listen to your body. If you feel discomfort, then come out of it a little bit. You don't need to go into this so deeply. Again, we're not trying to create any issues. And when you're ready, let's extend that left leg back. And let's take the hips back. Heel stays down, toes towards the sky. And now we're enjoying that half split. I think some people know this maybe as monkey. And we're going to really open up that hamstring. Ooh la la. Secret sauce here today. And again, keeping those hips squared forward. Think about pulling that femur into the hip socket here. Again, depending on where you are in flexibility or pregnancy, use the blocks, use the props to support you here today. Again, maybe you choose to point the toe, flex the toe, roll the ankle in the good way. There you go. And beautiful. Walk the hands on the inside and take the knee down, coming into that tabletop position. And just kind of do a little intuitive movement here, just releasing that low back again. Maybe it's that full dancing lion that you started with. Maybe it's just some gentle hip circles. Whatever it is you need here. Maybe some shoulder rolls. Ooh, yeah, let's do it. Awesome job. And when you are ready, my friend, find yourself in a seated position. Again, placing that bolster or pillow underneath that seat if that's what you need. And take those legs wide. Now, if this is already too much, again, you can use the blocks to help support you under those knees, always meeting yourself where you are in that moment. Okay, so find those sit bones again and take the feet out wherever they need to go today. And we're going to inhale, reach up. Exhale, long spine, heart energy shines towards me, fold at the hip creases. Palms come down to the earth and enjoy, oh yes, enjoy this stretch here. Now, notice my legs are not engaged. If you want to deepen that stretch, squeeze the thighs, flex the feet. You will feel a different sensation. That personally feels good to me today. Still keeping room for baby and belly. Again, options. Use the blocks here if you need to. You can stay on the palms. You can walk it a little wider. The forearms can come down. Feel like I'm ready for somebody to serve me dinner now. I could just have some snacks or something while I'm in this pose. I feel like I could stay here forever right now. All right, keeping that long spine the entire time. Notice I'm not arching and hunching in. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Maybe you release that engagement if you had it. And when you're ready, walk it back up. Good job. And let's take it to each side. So inhale, reach up. Remember that string out of the crown of the head. Maybe you sit a little taller. Exhale, guide that right hand over to the side. Maybe use that block again to rest that elbow and feel that nice lateral stretch. Yes, I personally needed this today. Selfishly, I decided to record this. I just did a ton of housework, and that low back was definitely communicating with me. We'll leave it at that. So I wanted to bring this to you as well. Keeping those shoulders nice and stacked. Good work. Keeping that left hip down on the earth. One more. And let's guide it back up center. You know where we're going. Exhale, let's take it to the left. Beautiful. Come down using that block and feeling that nice lateral stretch here. Making sure we're staying in that coronal plane. And so think about a pane of glass in front of you and behind you. We're not rolling forward. We're not rolling back. You don't want to break that glass. That can get really messy. So we'll just stay where we are in that nice coronal plane. Again, still being mindful of the placement of that left side body. I'm not crunching and collapsing. I'm still nice and tall, just as we did in the tabletop, and you're pressing the earth away. You still have that engagement in the left arm. One more breath. Great job. Inhale, guide yourself up. Exhale, let's take it down. Now, I'm going to go into a seated figure 4 today. If you want to go into a pigeon, you're welcome to. Gently bring those feet in and bend the knees. Find wherever placement you need to go. I'll turn this way so you can see a little better. The feet are flat on the floor. And we're going to cross that right ankle on top of that left knee. Needed a little help there today. There we go. Now, depending on your flexibility, if this is too much, walk that left foot out a little more, okay? Go where you may. Now, if you are interested in pigeon and want to know what it looks like, want to know what it feels like, you can use a block again to support you. That left leg would stay back and that right foot would come forward. You really want to focus on that right ankle and that right knee in line with one another. And honestly, now that I'm here, it kind of feels good. So I'm going to stay here. Look, you challenged me to go a little deeper in the best of ways. You knew what I needed. Thank you for that. And again, if you don't want to have the block underneath that seat, you certainly don't have to. And a lot of people, when they go into pigeon, they're kind of leaning and sloppy and rolling over to the right. Again, squaring the hips up. They're down to the earth. You want everything rolled internally forward. One more breath here. And let's gently release. I'll meet you back in that figure 4 position with the feet flat on the floor, knees bent. And let's take a moment to just windshield wiper the knees side to side. Good job. And when you're ready, right foot stays down, left ankle crosses on top of that right knee. Now you can adjust, again, less or bring it in closer is more, obviously. Just keep room for baby. So since I did that pigeon on the right, I'm going to check in with my body and do pigeon here on the left as well. just to see how we're doing and if that is serving us. And the answer is yes. So we'll stay here, deepening the stretch as well. And if you feel discomfort in the knees as you do this, think about flexing the toes towards the knee, and it'll help alleviate any of that knee discomfort. Or you just don't need to go as deep into the stretch, and that's okay too. One more deep, long breath. Again, we're not rushing this process, just really honoring, bringing the awareness into the body and anything else that your body may be communicating with you today. And gently come out of that pose, whatever is best for you today. Let's meet back with the knees bent, seat down on the earth, and windshield wiper those knees once more. We really want to bring that spine back to neutral. And I don't know about you, but my back feels brand spanking new right now. So I sure hope it does for you. Okay. Good work. And when you're ready, find yourself in a nice seated position, just as we started. And let's just take a moment to give ourselves some nice little neck stretches here, because why not give ourselves that quick gift? So inhale, reach that right arm up. Place it gently on the side of that left ear, left side of the face, and guide that right ear over to the right. Slowing down the practice, slowing down the breath a little more. And bring it up and release. Ooh, there we go. And let's take that left arm up and right arm or right side, and then guide that left ear over to the left shoulder. Again, checking in with the body. Notice the right side of the neck versus the left. And gently release and find yourself in that seated position. If you have time, I highly encourage you to go ahead and hit pause if you need to, or just take a few moments here to join me in a well-deserved Savasana. Maybe you choose to have the hands on the belly and connect with baby. Maybe palms are down. Maybe palms face up. I'm going to connect with baby here today. And just close the eyes and enjoy the stillness. And in your own time, you can gently begin to wiggle the toes and the fingertips. Maybe take some deep cleansing breaths if that's what feels right for you. Gently open the eyes. Let's take some big shoulder rolls here. One more. Excellent job. Let's bring those hands heart center and just feel the gratitude now flowing through your body that you take this time to give yourself such a precious gift of movement. Thank you so much for being here. I really, really appreciate you. Let's bring those thumbs to the third eye. The light in me sees the light in you. I bow to you and namaste. Thank you again so much for joining me. And if you are new here or you've not already subscribed, please do so. Make sure you hit that notifications button so you can get all of the fresh content that I'm constantly putting out for you. And of course, share with others who would enjoy this as well and certainly benefit from it. I hope you received all of the relief that you deserve from this. I know I did. Again, I am Mel with Soulful, and I can't wait to flow with you and see you again oh so soon.